Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
All right, thanks a lot, Megan, and thank you for tuning into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. You can give us a call tonight, 412-575-2600. On the other side over there is Chris Mueller from 93.7 The Fan at the 93.7 The Fan Cam. We got a lot of things to talk about. First of all, we gotta just get into this Steelers game last night. We didn't have a sports call last night to talk about it. The game was going on. Obviously, this might have been one of the worst games I've seen, one of the worst performances I've seen. I've covered the Steelers for 20 years now. There's a couple games that I might put up with in it when they lost to Oakland the one year, a couple other ones. But, I mean, man, I just am not optimistic about these next two games and maybe that game in the playoffs.
They, I think, have a very good chance of finishing 11-6 on the year, which would be lose out and then lose in the first round of the playoffs. And I can only go, Richie, on what we've seen lately. And so for 3 straight games, we've seen them play poorly and lose. For 4 straight games, we've seen them play poorly. And if you really want to go back even to the Jacksonville game, they won 27-3, but they certainly didn't really look that impressive in that game. I don't know what it is, by the way, about quarterbacks who went to NC State. Ryan Finley goes there. He beats them. The other 2 losses I could think of that were really ugly were to Mike Glennon with the Bears and the Buccaneers, along with that Raiders loss you mentioned. This is ugly. And you know what? We call these Tomlin losses, right? We joke about how he always has good teams that lose to really bad teams on the road. Yeah, it was a Tomlin loss, and you chalk it up that way. He deserves blame if he got all that credit when they were 11-0. But this was a Roethlisberger loss. The guy that is a $41 million cap hit next year. So he's supposed to be the mistake eraser, right? For the rest of the team, he's supposed to really lift up the guys on offense and make them even better. And any other warts that they have, he's supposed to be concealer. He was the primary problem last night. There's no arguing it. There's no getting around it. He was worse in the first half of that game yesterday against a really bad, like bottom 5 in the league pass defense. He was worse than Mason Rudolph or Duck Hodges were at any point for any one half of football in 2019. That's how bad it's gotten. I don't know what you do to fix it either. Mike Tomlin doesn't have any answers. What is the answer here? It's reductive and it's simple. I guess it's everybody's got to play better. Okay, let's see. Maybe it'll happen.
Well, here's the thing, Chris. You know, I mentioned this on Twitter yesterday. We all have our thoughts on Twitter, and I got made fun of for mentioning that, hey, maybe what is it time to start thinking about Mason Rudolph? I mean, obviously, I've been a Big Ben fan for a while here, this whole year, saying he's a difference maker. He's the reason that they were 11-0, and maybe he was. At one point in the season, we were saying maybe he's the comeback player of the year, right? Bob and I were both talking about it. We talked about it on the Showdown many times. But I mean, he's the reason they've been bad for these last 4 games. I don't even know. I mean, he says his arm doesn't hurt him, but, I mean, we can see it. We can see it. His passes don't have zip on it. His passes don't have zip on it. He underthrows everyone. It's just not the same quarterback anymore.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, he hung a couple guys out to dry. He hung Juju and Ebron out to dry. I don't think he has the arm strength, but if he does, he's seeing ghosts. Mackenzie Alexander all over some of these plays. He threw it right at a guy. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't know what people expect they're going to see differently from him. And this idea that they've been running this quick hit offense electively because they think that's the best plan, again, it presupposes and assumes this idea that they really want to be doing that and not that they're doing it because they have to, because he simply can't throw the ball down the field anymore. I'm sorry. I know what my eyes are telling me, and it's nothing good with him.
It definitely. I mean, I've seen it. I thought maybe I was wrong, and the Steelers weren't covering anything up, but it looks like he clearly has an arm issue. And look, here's the other thing. If he does have an arm issue, why is he throwing 50 times a game, right?
Well, he's the de facto offensive coordinator. I mean, that's the bottom line. And you know what was sad about that game yesterday? They still almost threw it 40 times. And Benny Snell, I'm not saying they were like dominant in the run game, but they had some little traps and some kind of little clever blocking schemes on the angles that were getting holes open, and Snell looked pretty good. But because Ben was turning the ball over, they couldn't go to the running game. Tomlin said as much today. He liked the way they ran the ball, but guess what? When you fall down 17-0, even to a team that bad, you've put yourself between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, I don't know how they turn it around. I mean, they have 2 games to turn things around, but I haven't seen it. They haven't done it for 4 straight games. All right, I'm going to hear from the phone, the callers out there. So we're going to take a break. 412-575-2600 is the number. Lines are packed right now, but keep trying. Back in 2 minutes.